Wow, it finally worked. Oh, hello everybody. Yeah, Dr. Freedom here with you. I don't know how many of you people are out there watching. You'll notice the channel's been kind of quiet lately. That's because there's nothing really worth talking about out there other than there's been some stuff going around, about like they've been doing live watches of like Day of the Doctor. Soon coming up, they'll be doing a live watch of Rose. And um, other than that, there's a lot of people worried out there because of the coronavirus going on. Matter of fact, I've been scheduled off at least a week. But word going around now is it may be longer than that. Originally, we were scheduled to go back to work on the 30th, and we've already got a notification via Facebook that it's probably longer. So I don't know what to tell you folks out there other than please be calm. Don't go crazy. Don't drown in toilet paper. Um, Also, there you've got your people out there who are just being absolutely, indifferent. What amazes me is the ones going, well, it's only like it's got a 98% survivability rate, and I'm like, that's all great and fine unless you're one of the 2%. See, I fall into that risk category, despite the fact I do take care of myself and all that. My wife does especially. So we've been sitting here kind of isolating ourselves. Me, I've been playing video games to my eyeballs bug out, which is something I don't usually do anymore. I've just been kind of addicted to Fallout. I'm not kidding. I really have. Um, okay, so Jody did make a video today. Okay, I'll have to go take a look at it. Like I said, I've just been kind of out of it, kind of removed. You see, I'm just been, taking a break because of all the backlash that went on after the end of the season. And also, I was in a couple casts where I was literally surrounded by people who just wanted to find reasons to hate on Doctor Who now. And it's like, um, it just depresses me that people are going off on Chibnall so much, yet they just did this big live stream. Well, it wasn't a live stream, it was everybody watching Day of the Doctor. And it's like, I'm sitting here thinking, how many times did Moffat shove his proverbial pen into the Doctor Who's canon? And yet they let him get away with it constantly. Even to the point you had Clara telling William Hartnell which TARDIS to steal. Yet Chibnall does something that enhances the mystery of the Doctor, and everybody's gone, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have gone apeshit crazy. One of my, you see, I hate using generalizations because I was in a podcast recently where Chibnall's ruined Doctor Who and everybody knows it. And I'm like, I even shouted top of my lungs. I'm like, not everybody. Because it's not, I don't know what planet these guys are living on, but when I go to conventions and when I see convention photos in the real world, there's more people cosplaying Jodie as the Doctor than there are any other doctors at most cons. I'm not kidding. Go look up the Gallifrey 1 pictures, count how many Jodies you see in the Jodie gathering versus other doctors and other photos. The point is, Doctor Who is always about change. And you have to change in order to survive. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect people to hang around. Now, of course, there's been a lot of controversy now about the ratings. And I'm like, look at how many shows are still on the air that got far less. Matter of fact, if memory serves, Eaters of Light, and this is no slight on Peter Capaldi, because I think the World there was a World Cup tournament or something. It was like a football tournament. It scored like 2.78 million on the ratings, and nobody was out there jumping up and down saying Moffat's killing the show. Or, well, okay, let me answer some questions for you. Oh yeah, everything's fine here. We're all doing great. We're just kind of viewing this as a small paid vacation that we're more like a staycation, as they call it, because we don't not really going anywhere. But it's just I've been wanting to catch up with you all because I know I've been quiet for a long time. I kind of feel responsible because a lot of you folks chose to hop onto this channel, and I've been kind of feeling like I've been ignoring you lately, and I don't like to do that. I like to stay in kind of communication, but like I said, I've become addicted to Fallout. I'm talking playing it for hours at a time, addicted. I don't think there's an intervention for that. Is there? Is there like a, do they have a procedure? Because I know I've been driving Lady Gallifrey nuts because I've literally been sitting in here doing all-nighters on Fallout 4. So no, I'm alive, I'm well, and sadly I can't say the same for a lot of people out there in the world. It just, amazes me how we've got cold cocked out of nowhere. But it also doesn't when, like I said, I don't like to get into politics, but we had teams of people who were responsible for watching out for this stuff, who were fired by an irresponsible world leader of unknown name who has orange hair. Like I said, I don't care either way who's the president or what. Half the time they're just public figures, or what you call it. They're figureheads. Okay, so let me get to what your guys' comments are. I used to play Doom all the time. I used to have a friend of mine who lived out in Lakewood. He had a couple computers that were networked together, so you could actually be both playing in the same game. I think I almost lost my job at McDonald's over that one. I think it's a fake out bar ass one. You see, that's the thing. Great job, Greg. Very good there. It's so obvious that I don't think the master's lying, but I think the master's been lied to. I think this is a smokescreen. Because remember, as I've said before, there's only one other being that we know of in established Time Lord lore that had endless bodily regeneration, and that was Rassilon. That was established back in the Five Doctors. And now all of a sudden you're saying the Doctor can perpetually regenerate. That's like, if the Doctor was the original regenator, shall we say, why does the Doctor have all these problems with regeneration? Anybody got a thing for that? Okay, Oswald Danes, here we go. Someone under a pseudonym, by the way. Doctor Who is dying. Well, here's the thing. You can't blame anybody if it is. You have to remember, this show has been on now 15 years. Even Supernatural, which has been on that long, is throwing in the towel at the end of this year. They're calling it over. On Walking Dead, a lot of people think it is Walking Dead, literally, because they've lost so many viewers over the last few years, especially since, there'll come a day when you won't be, when Negan stepped in and knocked the shit out of everybody, literally, because if you think Negan was bad, have you read the novels for The Rise of the Governor? They watered the governor down so much, he was like a drowning goldfish. I'm not kidding. He was nowhere near the level of sadistic, epic, or evil that he was in the books compared to be on the show. But the thing is this: when Chibnall made the decision to bring a woman into the role, the show was down to 5.5 million viewers and sinking. Now he figured, okay, I'll do something clever to get people watching again, and it worked. But then what did the BBC do? Let's take a year off. Now, a lot of fingers have been pointing either way as to why that year off happened, but I don't get it. It's like, it's only 10 episodes. Well, it's been sinking. Matter of fact, Ace Creeper put out a chart, and you can see where as the Matt Smith era began to slowly go down. And then when it got to Peter Capaldi, it still was going down. And you can't blame Peter. People grow out of the show. People get over it. People move on. Plus, when you start doing, one of the reasons I think that happened is because that's when the split seasons happened. That's when they took a year off. And like, we're gonna take this whole year off for the 50th. But don't worry, we're gonna shove the other half of the one season into the following year, and that'll make it all happy. That'll make it all right. Meanwhile, they could have filmed a group of specials rather than throwing everything on one. But I don't like the one they put out. I still don't. Like I said, that's why I didn't participate in the whole live tweet thing. I can't sit there and be amazed over when people are harping on Chibnall about plot holes, and Moffat lived on plot holes. I'm not kidding. I think the guy was a plot hole addict. Is there an intervention for that? Is there a treatment? Now, I know Russell T. Davies is going to be doing one for Rose soon. And it just amazes me that Series 11 is being held up as the worst when, well, like I said, I've gone pure caveman, Lee. Don't worry, this is just me. I've been lounging around the last few days. I'm fine. I'm healthy. Don't worry about it, man. Well, yeah, it was going to happen. Shows don't always hold their luster. But here's the thing that makes me laugh. When people are always harping about this thing called woke, SJW, my show's been killed. Ladies and gentlemen, how many here, and I know a lot of you are older folks in there, watched the original Battlestar Galactica 1978? Anybody here a fan of Galactica? Okay, I'm waiting for the thing to catch up. Okay, because this is what happened. You had Galactica. Galactica got canceled. Then they brought in Galactica 1980. And because the fans demanded it. Galactica 1980 was so freaking miserable, it made me want to go, I don't know. No, I didn't want to hang myself. That'd be wrong. I did want to hang several people who were in charge of the show because what we wanted was what we had in 1978. Well, Galactica 1980 comes on. They fired everybody except for like Lorne Green. They had Herb Jefferson pop up every now and then. Then they said, we're going to move it forward into the future. Matter of fact, I think even John Colicos was supposed to be back on it as Baltar. They threw that out because they didn't want to pay him. And everybody's like, ugh. Trust me, Series 11 was not Galactica 1980 bad. Oh, man. Galactica 1980 was freaking horrible. They took a sci-fi drama epic. Well, it was Mormons in space, but come on. And they turned it into a kid show. You had to be 5 years old to get into it. Literally. The only good episodes out of that whole run, and we're talking as in this good. Not this good, this good. Was the night the Cylons landed. And of course, the only great episode out of that whole run was the return of Starbuck. And that's because they brought Dirk Benedict back and explained what happened to his character. All right. Well, no, Scientology had nothing to do with Battlestar Galactica, not by a long shot. If you knew the true principles of Scientology, you wouldn't be making that comparison. It was based more off the Mormon religion than it was anything. Okay. Well, I don't even know why people call Scientology a religion. It's a sham. It's a hoax pulled off by a 2-bit con artist. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother topic. Besides, they might start sending me memos and shit. I don't want to. All right. Okay. But then we had the new Galactica, which came, early, later on. Now, sadly, a lot of you folks, if you've done some reading, you would have known that the same people who brought you X-Men, Bryan Singer and what he called DeSanto, were working on a continuation of the original Galactica series, which would have completely disavowed Galactica 1980. But sadly, a lot of things happened. You can find videos on it if you go look, but it didn't actually take off, and Sci-Fi went with the one, oh, heck, my brain's blanking. And the sad part is I love that actor too. Edward James Olmos and all that, Jamie Bamber, they went with that one, where suddenly man-created Cylons, which, by the way, was a complete ripoff of Asimov, Robots of Dawn, and whatever, and was a complete piss on the original show because they explain. No, like, not kidding. Look this up in the DVD of the Galactica series, the one that came later, where Ron Moore is sitting there smugly behind his desk going, they never explained what started the war between man and the Cylons in the originals. They said it right there in the opening pilot episode, you jackass. Another one of the races that were in the human circle were being attacked by the Cylons. The humans stepped in, and that led to the beginning of the war, which had gone on for like 1,000 yarn or 1,000 years. All right. Now, the thing is, while I was not a huge fan of the newer Galactica, there were still some storylines and some characters I did like. I didn't like the fact, though, the Cylons, this incredibly artificial intelligent species, went off, became involved into supermodels. Supermodels. Wait a minute. Okay, but here's my point. People are jumping up and down about this. Where were they when Galactica turned Starbuck into a woman? Boomer, who was this great, incredible black guy, Perb Jefferson, got turned into an Asian woman. And then later on, just add on, Commander Kane became Admiral Kane, played by Ensign Rowe from Star Trek The Next Generation. Where were they then? Where were they then? I'm not kidding. That's not one, that's not two, that's three major characters who are all humans, by the way. They weren't beings from Gallifrey that could do this shit. Okay, there's words of a prequel for Rose. I don't know. Like I said, it'll probably just be another little mini thing like they did with Strax, and Dan Starkey, for Day of the Doctor. But no, it's the same concept, Philip. Do I have to draw this in crayon? It's a sci-fi show that not only changed one, but three leads who were never originally alien. They're all human. Just for the sake of doing it. But you see what I mean? Yet, that's why I was not the least bit shocked when they announced Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. It happens. Like I said, Galactica started off pretty good, the new series, and then it was okay. It wasn't fantastic, but like I said, there were some characters I did like, and others that just went completely off the wall apeshit. Word going around, Captain Jack will be back in this upcoming special. We don't know if it's going to be Christmas. We don't know if it's going to be New Year's, but it's already been filmed. It's done. It's in the can. That's why a lot of people are going, do you think it'll be delayed? No, they already filmed it. They filmed it with the regular block of filming. That's why you saw the Daleks out there on the Clifton Suspension Bridge in Bristol. See, Doctor Who has changed literally so much from its origins. I can't believe people are still harping about changes. It just drives me bananas. If you go by the die-hard, cold, strict, traditionalists, Doctor Who had ended in 1966 when Hartnell left. But that's just me. I know a lot of people keep asking me that. Am I a shill for the BBC? I know some people who are, but it ain't me. Kind of obvious when you come to think about it. I shouldn't have to draw a line from point A to point B to point C. Let's just say certain individuals get certain perks. I don't want to harp on anybody because some of them I really do like. But it's really diehard obvious. You're calling me a shill? Look who's getting invited to premieres. Now, I love Baby Yoda, especially some of the memes that have been coming out lately. So, yeah, I just wanted to sit here and talk with you all for a while because it's been too long. I feel weird, even today when I only put out maybe 3 videos a week at any given time, and then I don't put one out for a while. Also, it's because I've been a little bit depressed because of the way things have been going. Some people have just been completely off the wall bonkers ever since this thing happened. Like, I couldn't believe my own company was trying to keep us there to work. And then they turn around and ask for volunteers to come in on the week off for the coronavirus. I'm like, are we really become that callous? Ugh. I stopped watching Clone Wars. I can't remember when. It was way before they got to the time travel shit, which really I found out about later and made me glad I didn't keep watching. Um, I was in the Rebels, then they brought in Thrawn, and to me that was wrong because if you've read the books, what do you call it, Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising and The Last Command, Thrawn was outwitting the New Republic left and right in post Endor universe. And then what do? They throw them back in time to try to keep the guys who are pissed off about the extended universe being written off. That was Rebel. Sorry, I got it mixed up. I get them mixed up. Sorry, thank you. But I quit watching Rebels for the time travel thing. Clone Wars, I got most of the way through, and then I think after Ahsoka left of the Order, I don't remember watching anything much past that. All right, so they take Thrawn, they put him back into the era he's in now with Rebels, and now he's being outwitted by kids. This guy, if you read these books, was a brilliant tactician. They literally had to outthink him. He had ways around the Force. He had ways around this. He had ways around that. That guy was a frickin' tactical genius. And then all of a sudden, he's getting outwitted by the Scooby-Doo gang of the Star Wars universe. And that's why I had to quit watching. Then when they go, well, let's bring Ahsoka back. Here's my thing that's pissing me off in all these new shows. They always throw all these new young Jedi, some of which aren't even full Jedi, against Darth freaking Vader. Darth Vader is the nuclear megabomb of the dark side of the Force next to the Emperor. The Emperor, he's like, out there. He's all right. But they always end up standing up to him look, I hacked pieces off his armor. And he's like, they made Darth Vader into a big wuss. I just can't stand him. Now, yeah, I'm kind of got mixed emotions on the upcoming thing, with Rosario Dawson, because I love her as an actress. But Ahsoka Tano, they've just turned into another Jedi Master that rivals Luke Skywalker, and I can't stand it. Yeah, she was a freaking Padawan. She left the Order. And yet she's kicking Darth Vader's ass. Or at least holding him off long enough to be time zonked. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, but the best Darth Vader scene I've seen in years was at the end of Rogue One. That's Darth Vader. You don't screw with Darth Vader. He'll rip your ass to shreds. He'll cut you in half. He'll impale you through a ceiling. He'll step on your puppy in front of your kids. He is just the Obi-Wan series, as far as I know, is still on track. It's going to be a mini series. Yeah, Ewan McGregor's stepping in. So I am looking forward to that. Like I said, Rosario Dawson, I love in everything she does. So I am going to tune in for it because, The Mandalorian's awesome. Jon Favreau has literally stepped in there. This guy should be getting, if there was a Congressional Medal of Honor for movie writing, this guy should have it. I'm not kidding. This is the guy who, did the Iron Man movie and it led to the beginning of the whole Avengers franchise. And then he's done The Mandalorian, which has literally turned Star Wars around, even for the guys who claim it's got woke. Ugh. But I'm loving the array of stars they've had in Mandalorian. Solo, it was don't want to say good. It was watchable, but it wasn't, I hate to say this, but if you watch Solo, now how many here are fans of the original series? Don't be afraid to admit it. The original series of Firefly, before the movie Serenity. I'm talking the whole thing. Come on, give me a hell yeah out there if you are. Firefly. Now I tuned out on Westworld. It got boring. Okay. In Firefly, the original series, well, there's only a series one. If you haven't watched Firefly, watch it, Robert. Trust me, you'll love it. It's just heartbreaking, though, when you realize the movie had to tie everything up because Fox are dicks. But Firefly did an episode called The Train Job. And it seemed to me like that whole part of Solo was stolen from Firefly. I'm not kidding. It's like, let me see, train job, and then all of a sudden now Han Solo's doing a train job. Huh. Okay, I wonder where they got that idea from. But how many here spotted the reuse of the when the Alliance troopers were wearing Starship Troopers gear? Oh, Picard. Thank you, Nick. Oh, man. I mentally masturbate to Picard. Uh-oh, there goes my YouTube right now. Picard has been awesome. It started off a little slow. Well, I can't really say that because it did start off. Hang on. I've heard that same thing about Nathan, but I don't know if it's true. I've never met the man personally. Picard is, I can't find a word to describe the mountain of awesome that Picard is. I'm not kidding. It's you'll notice how they kind of don't mention much about anything other than Next Generation that's happened before. That's because they're sweeping Discovery under the rug. Did anybody hear they're trying to do a series with Pike? Please quit doing this shit. Oh, man. Yeah, how many kids did Soong and their whole family have? My goodness. And they all looked alike, too. I'm beginning to wonder if Soong just didn't clone himself every few years. Worst Star Trek series, in my opinion, I can't say Disco because I didn't watch it. I didn't want to waste my time on it. I saw the trailer. You've got ships there that look like they're out of the movie era, and this is supposed to be like 10 years for Kirk and Spock. You've got holographic displays. Then the more I found out, the more they went right down the predictable route. And of course, oh, look, we're going to bring in the Enterprise and Pike to save our asses at the end of the season just in case that shit went south. Saw it coming in. Oh, look, everybody and their grandmother went to Talos 4 before they declared the ban. It was just like a vacation spot. Oh, it's like, but worst series, I don't want to say worst because Enterprise to me, because I liked the characters. There was quite a few stories in there and I did like, but the word is that it was basically Berman trying to rewrite history in his image, the show's history. You know, because he didn't like Star Trek, the original series. That was well known back in the 80s. And then, but yeah, good. They did decide to end it. Like I said, didn't watch it. And you notice how everybody started calling it disco when they found out STD was not exactly a good acronym for your series. Orville will be back this year. Sadly, it'll be back like later this year. I think it's December. The Orville is phenomenal. And you know why? Because a lot of the people who worked on TNG, DS9, and all that are working on the Orville. And a lot of people don't know this. You may want to strap yourselves in. Oh, great. My brain blank. Seth MacFarlane went to Paramount Pictures. And he pitched a Star Trek series. And guess what it was? The Orville. They laughed him out of the studio. They told him basically, turn around, get out. And then all of a sudden, he puts it out. It's a freaking hit. Kick him in the butts. Kick him in the nuts. Don't screw with a guy who's worth $100 million. He ain't got nothing to lose. Oh, Lucifer's on its way. Word is Lucifer, matter of fact, for you fans of Lucifer, Oh, great. My brain keeps blanking today. No, it has nothing to do with weird diseases. Tom Ellis, if I got his name even remotely right, has signed on for a Series 6, according to some news publications, because Netflix doesn't want to let go of the series. The original guys who ran it wanted to end it at the end of this next series. And the fans are like, no! And I'm one of them. No! Don't do it. Don't, if people like it, don't end it. Ugh. If they start acting like certain fandoms do, then end it. But that's what it is. I think it's because, you see, everyone's like, you're looking like shit, man. Don't worry. It's because, A, I haven't combed my hair in 3 or 4 days. I don't think I shaved in a week now. Look at I'm going total caveman. I'm going to walk out of here looking like a Neanderthal at the end of a couple weeks. I quit watching Westworld at the end of like series 2, mainly because Sandy Newton wouldn't get naked anymore. I'm like, no, it just got to be repetitive. Sabrina, that's the thing. These guys are saying Doctor Who's pushing agendas. I watched Sabrina, and even though I do like the series, watch that and then tell me Doctor Who's pushing agendas. Seriously. Well, you're right. Well, every now and then I run a comb through it, about once every odd decade. I know the feeling, Heather, because the only reason I've got clothes on right now is because I had to go out and get the mail. And you see, I can't go out in just shorts. My wife's like, you're in shorts. It's like 55 degrees. Why don't you just go out there and get the mail? I'm like, last time I went out there wearing shorts, they called in a Bigfoot sighting. Okay. And it gets embarrassing, when you got those guys from Chasing Bigfoot running around on your lawn and shit. We hear the beast was sighted in this region. It's like, it was me, you jackass. Get off my lawn. No, but I've literally just been glued to this screen playing Fallout. I'm not kidding. I really have been. 12 hours at a time. Okay, but it's just there hasn't been a whole lot of news going on. Filming doesn't start until, for Doctor Who, it's either going to be late August, early September. Pre-production was ramping up beginning early summer. So they were talking late May, early June. The writer's room was already reserved at the BBC Television Center, but I'm assuming that's going to be pushed off. And what they'll probably do is you could all meet on this thing called the internet and do it that way. So you don't even have to be in the same room to do a writer's room. And just think, if Chibnall don't like it, he can just kick him out of the call. But I love how everybody's harping on Chris Chibnall. You shouldn't be. I don't care whether you like it or not. This is the only guy who stepped up to the plate. Nobody else would do it. Whether you agree with what he's put on the screen or not, you've got to give the man his props. He had to be talked into doing this series, and now you see why. Because if you do anything at all, people were harping on his writing before Series 11 even got put on the air. And look, well, surprise, I didn't like it. You have to give him respect. You do. He's the only dude who stepped forward and took the reins when the carriage was still streaming off the path. If it was not for him, you would have nothing. Okay, the New Warriors comic. Okay, so apparently William's having a problem with his comic book thing. I'm providing the foggy atmosphere. Well, that's where they make their money, Nick. That's what they're making their money's off hate. And that's what depresses me. I've been sitting here doing this the honest way for how many years now? I have bought no promoted videos. The only advertisement I do is on Facebook, and that's in a number of groups that I am either friends with the moderators or they've liked my posts in the past. So I keep posting there. Yet you've got these guys out there making tens of thousands of views off hate. I only do PC, and this is the first time literally in years that I've taken any interest in a series of games on PC. I had literally left the closest. I was never a heavy duty gamer except in my youth. We're talking Commodore 64. I'd play Elite like mad. Then I went to, I think the highest end system I ever owned was a PlayStation 1 I had bought at a flea market. So I used to play Doom with my friends back in the day. But that was like decades ago, literally. Everyone's like, why don't you have any tattoos? This is why. The only place you'd actually be able to see ones if I have it done there. That's the only place I don't think I'm growing any hair. I didn't say people were allowed to dislike Series 12. It's just hate. There's a thin line between constructive criticism and destructive ranting. If you didn't like a plot because this didn't do this and all that, fine. Okay, I can understand that. That's constructive. But then when you go, Doctor Who's become PC, SJW, woke, and then you give no legitimate reason other than the fact that the lead character is now female and you don't like the head writer, that's just ranting. That's like I said, I don't want to say I didn't like Discovery, but like I said, it just wasn't going to be my cup of tea. I didn't bother watching it. And you'll notice that all these guys who hate these shows now watch every episode. It's like, to me, that's just being a hypocrite for money. Like I said, there's episodes of Series 12 I did not like. Like I said, the weakest one I think was Orphan 55. Betty! Betty! Minnie and the Drags! Masha, well, okay, well, that's your opinion, Alistair. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I liked Sasha Dewan's Master just as much as I liked Missy's. Each actor brings something different. So if I got on the air, Connor, and said, I don't like this series because they hired a woman and that's woke, that's constructive criticism. Please go away, little boy. Go away from me, son. You're bothering me. I'm here to cheer people up, cheer myself up, and that's about all there is to it. I haven't watched Vikings. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch Vikings. Just screwing with you, Connor. He's probably chatting right now to one of his buddies who's attempting to troll this video. Ugh. My God, people must think I'm dumb as a stump, but oh well. Yeah, Picard, like I said, I've really enjoyed Picard. Haven't seen Vikings yet myself. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Maybe one of these days I'll go back and tune it in. I've heard about Terry Nation Survivors. I've been listening to the Big Finish series of it, which is like supposed to be a continuation, but I've never had a chance, to sit down and watch it personally. But okay, latest word I do know. Okay. I don't think Doctor Who's been affected by the coronavirus because they're not going to start filming anyway till probably September. Pre-production wasn't scheduled to begin for a couple months anyway. As far as I know, I believe Towson Cole is leaving because he's already landed another series on AMC. Bradley Walsh has landed another series on ITV, if memory serves. I'm just going off the brain noggin here. So I think they're pretty much gone. And a lot of people say, well, Bradley could do it. And I'm like, this is a whole nother series. And see what else we got going on. Other than that, like I said, there's going to be that Rose thing coming up. Look that up. It's going to be on Twitter. I heard RTD's even thinking about getting an account for it. So, which is weird because I don't think he's been on social media in forever. That's why I was shocked when Moffat actually came back. Maybe it's because he realized everybody's not pissed at me anymore. I don't think it will be delayed. At least until we get an announcement, I wouldn't worry about it yet. So, Big Finish did Star Trek. Wait a minute. I know there was a couple of independent audio series out there. I think Hidden Frontier did a couple spinoffs that went audio. Also Paramount, like I said, now that you'll notice that now that everything is back under one house, as far as Star Trek is concerned, because Viacom, CBS, or whatever it was, came back together. Yeah, I think most of these guys, some of them claim to be long-time watchers, but heck, I'll never forget when this one certain channel, who's supposed to be the big news source on many other things, get ready for laughs ahoy, you classic Doctor Who fans. This is the guy who's got, I don't know how many thousand subscribers. He talks news on, I can't remember how many different series, yet said the Cybermen were brilliant in their premiere episode. I can't say it. Oh, God. I'm about to die. They were brilliant in their premiere episode, Tomb of the Cybermen. That's almost as bad as the group that were doing videos for the 50th anniversary that said they really were looking forward to the episodes with Leela, who was an alien warrior of the Sevatim race. I never said that, Fez. Alien warrior of the Sevatim race. Oy vey. That was a long time ago. Okay, well, folks. Anything else you want to discuss? I'm going to give you about 15 more minutes, I think, and we're going to clock out. You nailed it, Mike. That's right. Even I know the Cybermen premiered in the 10th planet. Matter of fact, the oldest living actor to have worked on Doctor Who is Earl Cameron, who played one of the astronauts. He's like 102 now, if memory serves. And the funny part is, if you watch the 10th planet, a lot of you may know this. The outfit that Earl Cameron's wearing should look awfully familiar because they later recycled it for The Empire Strikes Back. It was one of the, matter of fact, if you remember the alien bounty hunter Bosk, the Trandoshan, the ugly lizard guy who looks like Pac-Man on a bad day, he's wearing the same astronaut outfit or thing over his. Yeah, he is. He's wearing the same outfit, which I thought was a laugh. But that's how much they reuse props over there. It saves money. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad somebody mentioned. I almost forgot. Yeah, they're taking what the original script or story that was supposed to be, that later turned into Revenge of the Cybermen, and they're putting it out as an audio. And that's what I love about Big Finish, because they take a lot of these stories, like there were unaired scripts that they made into a whole series of Big Finish. Like remember when Doctor Who got canned back in the 26th season? There were supposed to be other scripts that had already been lined up for the following year. Same thing with Colin Baker ones that didn't get aired. There's ones that have been turned into Big Finish that are really good, like the Earth Aid. Great. I'm trying to think of the one where the Doctor went to Blackpool, the Nightmare Circus, I want to say, but I'm not sure if that's right, because that brought back the toy maker. Nightmare Fair, thank you. I knew I was somewhere in that neighborhood. Nightmare Fair. And that was a really good one. Thanks, guys. Like I said, I'm going off the brain noggin. I'm not Googling anything as I'm talking here, so. All right, well, coming up on 12 minutes left. What else do we want to bring up? We're talking about Big Finish. We talked about Doctor Who. We've talked about Star Trek. Picard, like I said, freaking awesome. And that's what I love about Picard, is because it's following along, but it's in its own way. It's really good. I wish they turned Fallout into a series. I really do, because of this, just the amount of stories they've got in the games. I'm not going to lie to you. I was writing Nightmare on the Chitanu, and then I started rewriting it. And then I hit writer's block, and I was kind of hoping it'd work itself out, because I wanted to get lines out for it immediately after the series finished airing this year, and it just didn't happen. I'm just trying to make a little bit of a mystery to it, and I also wanted to enhance the central villain to it. I know there's like 5 of you who care about that, so it's like I said, I'm no grandmaster genius when it comes to writing. Like I said, I just plod along and do the best I can. But I've had a lot of great teachers, just all right. If I killed off Philip's character, how would I do it? Let's make a survey. I am a bit sad. I'm not going to lie, because as much as I'd like to make light and keep laughing, people are dying, and they're dying on a scale that a lot of people don't even imagine. Like I said, it doesn't seem like a lot, but these people are, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles. And this disease does horrible things to your respiratory system. And that's one of the reasons I quit smoking, was because I started to have nightmares about what that stuff was doing to me. And like I said, I'm not saying go out and start smoking, but this helped. It really did. There's only a 3 level of nicotine in here, which is like 10 times lower than I was probably smoking in my average cigarette. And there's no carbon monoxide or anything like that. So I breathe better, sleep better. I can taste shit again. But it's not about me. It's just, I try to, take my mind off it, but I can't, that. Well, trust me, this isn't halfway as bad as Outbreak was, but it's bad enough. It really is. For a lot of you folks who didn't know it, yeah, Sophia Miles lost her father to the disease, amongst many others. And all I can say is this, folks, keep your chin up. Use some common sense. If you don't have to go out and hang out somewhere, don't. Like I said, I really don't know what to tell you. It is scary, but at the same time, you have to keep calm and carry on. This isn't the end of the world as we know it, but it is for a lot of people out there. And when you're, out there tonight, please keep them in your thoughts, especially those who have lost or those who have friends who are still suffering. Like I said, I just don't want to give a big speech about it because I don't know what to tell you other than the world has been through worse. We've been through worse. You just got to stay strong and keep moving forward. Oh, that's one of the reasons why I haven't made a video in a few days. Sorry if I'm getting a bit teary on you, but I just can't keep, out of my mind all those folks who are out there, tonight, with loved ones who are suffering from this or loved ones who have passed. All I can say is stay strong and keep moving forward. Yeah, my mom was a nurse. She didn't retire till recently. One of the times she always regretted was she worked in hospice, and every one of those lives and then deaths touched her. And but if you're out there, like I said, stay strong, keep moving forward. If you don't have to go out anywhere, don't. Find something to do at home. There's a billion things we can do. The imagination's unlimited. And we're just going to have to tap into that for a while. Hell, look at it this way. You've got an excuse to stay home and play video games now. It's just hard to make light of it, you know? People out there complaining about a sci-fi show, and there's things that are far more important out there to be worried about. I don't want to get preachy on you all, so I'm going to get on out of here. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the day. Keep your chins up. And I'll see you on the flip side. Hopefully we'll be through this soon. Just keep moving forward. The only way out is through. Good night, everyone.